Haley and Kevin have been on top of this all morning in terms of talking about the visibility and how it would drop through the course of the morning. And we're seeing that played out in many spots. If we can go over to Max 3, going to show you the visibilities right now across the state. And right now they're ranging anywhere from about a quarter to an eighth of a mile. And we do have those advisories up for that reason. For good reason. We do have the snow coming down. It's creating some very low visibilities out there on the order of about a quarter to about an eighth of a mile. So that's what's in the cards right now. Officially, we have reached that point where the visibility is down to blizzard criteria in places like Manchester and in Portsmouth. However, in the Queen City, the winds are not as strong as they have to be to line up in, say, hour number 1 of 3, which is necessary for the blizzard. But we do have that at the coast. Sustained winds or frequent gusts of 35 or higher, and that's in Portsmouth, and that's combining right now with the low visibility of about an eighth of a mile, while it's a quarter of a mile farther inland. So that's what we've got right now with the very cold air building in. This is a light, fluffy snow statewide, anywhere from the single digits to the very low teens. So again, Kevin and Haley have been on top of this all morning long. I'm going to bring back in Kevin to talk more about what the snow looks like, because not only do we have the visibility coming down, but usually that's tied in with some more intense snowfall rates. And just like this storm for New Hampshire is not as bad, I'm not saying it's not bad, but not as bad as what's happening in southern parts of New England. It's not nearly as bad in northwestern parts of the state as it is farther south and east. We've been talking about southeastern New Hampshire, and clearly you are getting hit with the brunt of this nor'easter starting now right into the early part of the evening.
Yeah,
Kevin?
Mike, and yeah, this certainly is a combination where you have a strengthening storm, you have the very cold atmosphere, so a very light, fluffy snow, and you have the wind blowing and drifting that around and really lowering the visibility, making for some very tough travel out there as we go through the afternoon and into the early evening, especially in the southeastern half to southeastern third of the state. As I mentioned, very fluffy, very dry air setting up that snow, and you will notice that the visibilities have come down quite a bit. We're talking visibilities of just a third of a mile or even less, down to a tenth of a mile now out in Portsmouth after being at 2/10 of a mile just an hour ago after gusts of 40 miles an hour. So the heaviest amounts of snow this afternoon, and I think, if I realize everyone's going to have to go out and clean all of this up, but this almost becomes a little bit secondary this afternoon as to the conditions that we have out there as far as the wind is concerned this afternoon, and the lower visibility and the tough travel. And it's been said many, many times this morning as we have gone through the coverage this morning, that as we go into the afternoon, certainly if you do not have to travel at all, and there are people that have to work and travel this afternoon, you really want to limit that at all possible, just with the lower visibility and the blowing and drifting of that snow as the crews are out doing their thing. As far as the impacts of the timeline of this and how things are going to progress for the afternoon, we want to send this over to Haley LaPointe. Haley?
Good afternoon, everybody. Yes, so we are watching the snowfall piling up in particular in the southeastern part of the state. But the big story is that we have reduced visibility and these intense bands moving through. So this is Manchester. And as we've been watching through the morning, the visibility just creeping downward, where we're losing the view of, the hotel in the distance and some of the buildings. But we're losing that now that the snow has picked up in intensity and the winds have picked up in intensity too. This is Market Square in Portsmouth. Not a lot of people out walking around. Also something to notice, not a ton of snow on the ground, but there are bare spots too. Not because it hasn't been snowing, but because it's been blowing so much. So there's going to be a lot of drifting. It's going to be incredibly hard to measure the snowfall. 14 degrees in Portsmouth now, but look at the wind chill. Winds out of the north at 29 miles per hour. The wind chill is 7 below. So it feels just brutal being out there, particularly in southeastern New Hampshire. So the snow's been filling in. Wanted to show you this darker shade of the purple color. These are those real heavy bands of snow. It is just pouring snow down through Cape Ann, Massachusetts, into Boston as well, and it is backing up into Rockingham County and even Stratford County. So I expect the snow rates to increase even more through the southeastern part of the state as this storm is still intensifying just off the coast of Long Island. You can see Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket here, and it still has to lift northward. So we still certainly have a few more hours to go. So 37 miles per hour, the latest gust in Portsmouth. As long as it's above 35 miles per hour with this visibility down down below a quarter mile. We're still under blizzard conditions. You need 3 consecutive hours of the reduced visibility, the strong winds, and the snow blowing or falling in order to call it a blizzard. And we'll likely get very close to it, at least at the coastline. All right, well, we're going to bring back in Chief Meteorologist Mike Haddad. Hi, Mike.
And hello, Haley. Yeah, it's quite an amazing turn of events when you factor in what's going on between southeastern New Hampshire and points farther off to the north and to the west. So we talk about the wind gusts that are out there. Want to break down the impacts for this storm over on Max 3, if we could flip over to our traffic computer. And there we go. We've got the heavy snowfall that is certainly a very high impact. Again, it's not heavy snow in terms of the weight of the snow. It's a heavy snowfall in terms of the intensity. This is a classic nor'easter for New Hampshire. This is not going to be a record-breaking snowfall for the Granite State. It will be a different story and record-breaking farther south and east over eastern Massachusetts, where I know a short time ago they already had well over 100,000 electric customers without power. That was just due to Eversource, I believe. So the numbers are going to continue to climb there. Very difficult travel for a couple of reasons. A, you've got snow on the roads, which is honestly much better than the ice that we had a few weeks back when we just could not get any traction on it. I did just drive through downtown Manchester to get here, and while it was very difficult in terms of the visibility, the roads, you get a little bit of traction. Now, I'm not recommending that you travel today. If you can stay home, that's the best advice, because you can't see much more than a quarter mile ahead. So you really have to take it slow due to the visibility as much as the snowpack on the roads. But again, at least you get a little traction due to that snow that is falling. Gusty winds. Yes, we talked about that. Haley pointed out how we've reached 35 miles per hour or higher. Coastal flooding, not a great concern. We've already passed one high tide, and we have another one that we'll look forward to tonight at about 9 p.m., where we may see some significant splashover, but that tide is about 1.5 feet lower than the one we had this morning. Again, another breakdown of the visibilities. We're right near that blizzard criteria in the Queen City and Rochester down through Jaffrey, but the winds are not up to the speed that they have to reach to get us into that blizzard criteria just yet. As Haley pointed out, it has happened in Portsmouth. So we'll have a lot more. Track the snow bands building in. Again, clearly, it is a non-event in the Upper Valley and the Great Northwood. Doesn't mean you're not going to see snow. It's just not a big deal here today. It's much greater as you work farther south and east, and especially Lakes region, points south and southeast towards the coast. Again, we'll have a lot more on Doppler radar and Futurecast coming up in just a little bit.